4-day week, decent money, and a chat about using a printer in your van. Good morning everybody, it's David here, Anvil Logistics. I hope you all had a good Easter break and are all rested. I'm now on my way in to do a day on the old multi-drop. I think they're quite busy today. I've seen them posting work anyway for same day work, so I've probably got a lot of work to cover, get over today. That's why they want me in. Anyway, I hope all your weekend was great. I had a good weekend and went to that Beamish up in the northeast. What a great place that is. Really enjoyed it. I'd recommend it, especially if you've got kids as well, because it's a full day, but there's a fun fair and all kinds of things going. You know, rides on old trams, rides on old buses, that kind of thing. Very interesting. Would highly recommend it, although this is not a travel channel. So it's a new week. I'm going to get some grafting now for the next 3.5 weeks or so, because I am going away for another break to Egypt with my good lady wife and my son and his good lady. You think that once you've got rid of them, they're left home, you don't then have to go on holiday with them anymore, do you? Obviously not, because they won't come away with us. Anyway, it'll be a nice break. It will be very hot, which for a bald, red-faced person like me, it's not ideal, but the wife absolutely adores the sun. So I will be seen hopping from parasol to parasol while she's out there baking. But anyway, never mind. It'll be a break, and that's the most important thing. But to make sure I cover that break, as in the time that I'm having off, I'll make sure that I get some grafting done now for the next 3.5 weeks. And I might even throw the odd Saturday in if there's work to be found. That isn't always the case. But I'm going to do as many of the multi-drops as they can throw at me, because that's my best paying thing. But if not, I'll be jumping on the exchange and working, and possibly late some days as well, because I like to cover my time off if I can. Anyway, we'll see how the week goes. I hope everybody else has a productive week, and I'll catch you in a bit. Right, I'm on the run. It's still Monday. I'm midway through my run, and today's run is Cheshire, so it's a bit different. I'm sort of like doing Warrington, Wilmslow, Alderley Edge, where else have we got? Altrincham, Congleton Crew, and then working my way back to Macclesfield, Buxton, and finishing in Hyde, because that's towards home for me. And I'm doing this for 2 weeks. They have asked me to do this for 2 weeks, and the reason for that is the new guy who they took on, who obviously has been working, I've been off, and he's been cracking on with the run. It's not worked out for him. He's jacked in. It's not the easiest of things to do this run, but once you get to know it, it does get easier. I don't think you give it much of a chance. But his loss, etc., my gain, means I'm going to get the good money for another couple of weeks on this. And it'll be most welcome, because I've got a break coming up again off to Egypt. So it won't be very good content this week, because obviously I'm doing multi-drop again for the week. And although the money's great, the content is a tad boring. But somebody has asked me to do something about the printer that I've got. So if I find time this week, I'll show you how it works, and then that'll fill out some content, and hopefully someone will find that useful. Right, well, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday afternoon. It is 3:30. I've finished my run quite early today. Sailed through. So some days you get lucky, some days you don't. So I'll use this opportunity to do what I was asked and talk about printers. Now, printers, they're not essential, but they are handy. And what type of printer you get depends entirely on you. I have gone for a thermal printer, and the reason why I've gone for a thermal printer is because they're very small. That is how big it is. And this uses rolls of paper, or you can feed in paper, but it uses thermal paper, which is a little bit more expensive than just your standard photocopy paper, but it's not all that more expensive. And I've not used hardly any of this roll yet anyway, and I've got some spares here. Well, this particular one is a Perry page. It's compact. You just charge it up, and then the charge will last about 3 hours continuous use, so they say. But I don't use it a lot at the moment because I'm doing the multi-drop and I don't really have much need of it. And you can just reload the paper when it tells you it's getting low, just like that. It's dead easy. So the way this one works is that it connects to your phone. You have an app. So then when you want to print something, you just simply open your app and print it from there. And it's really easy, and it prints it out for you. Now, why would you need a printer? Well, a lot of times you might need to do your own delivery note because they've not supplied one. And I don't know if you've noticed, but if you get a job, and this is through the CX I'm talking about, if you get a job through the CX, you get an email. And on the email, if you scan down it, you'll see there's an attachment for a delivery note, like a uniform blanket one, which you can print out and then fill that in yourself. So it's handy if you haven't got any delivery notes and you don't keep your own generic ones, or you don't have a book. A lot of people just use a book, don't they? It's not essential, none of this. But where it does come in handy, having your own printer, and it works a lot, especially on the stuff that you pick up from the airport, you might see a little note saying must have ability to print notes, because the shipper or the shipping agent might get a job where you're collecting from the airport, and there's quite a bit of paperwork that needs to be presented at the airport to get the work out, or to drop the goods off. So what they do is frequently they will either ask you to call into their offices, which may be well out of the way, to pick that paperwork up, or they'll send it to you and you can print it yourself if you've got a printer. So again, it's handy for that. And I used it the other day because of my own incompetence. It was raining, much like today, and I dropped one of my delivery notes, the blank ones, for one of my drops. It completely ruined it. And now I could have wrote out a blank generic one, but it wouldn't have had the company I'm working for's logo on it, etc. And I just simply rang them and said, oh, I've dropped that note, it's got wet, it's ruined, it looks horrible. Can you send me a copy of that one? And I just simply printed it out, and it was handy for that. So they are handy. Now, what type of print you get is up to you. I am not promoting these Perry pages in any way. I bought this one because it was pretty cheap. When I bought it, it was about £100. I think they're about 110 now. But, look them up yourself online, Perry page, and you'll see how much they are. But plenty of companies make these thermal printers. I chose this because it was nice and small. I think it's Chinese, so it's a bit cheaper. But it does the job. I'm not after anything particularly special, am I? But they can go up to £200-300. I've seen them for these thermal printers. But for what we do, I think that's good enough. Now, you can buy a normal printer if you want, like the one you go and buy from PC World. And you can pick one up for about 40 quid. But that's a normal printer. So you then have to have the ability to power it up. So you'd have to get an inverter and make sure the inverter's powerful enough to power a printer. And they're a bit big and they're a bit bulky, aren't they? Even the smaller ones are probably about the size of a small microwave. So where do you put it? You're going to put it on your seat? This is handy because when I need it, I just switch it on here and I use it. It's as simple as that. So what I'll do is, It goes green, by the way, when it's switched on. I'll now print something out for you. I'm going to cut now because I'll probably cock it up. So I'll film it, printing something, so you can see how easy it is. Okay, so you've got yourself a job. This is a really old job that's on my phone. I didn't want to use a current one. And they've sent you the confirmation through the CX, and they've also sent you an email which you automatically get. On the email, if you scan down to the bottom like that, you will see a blank delivery note is made up for you. Now, if I want to print that out, I've just simply tap it with my finger. Obviously, this is an iPhone. It might work slightly different on an Android device. Then press that upload or download arrow. I don't exactly know what it means. And then decide where I'm going to send it to. In this case, I'm going to send it to my printer, which is this Perry page. Do that, and then you'll see that the delivery note has appeared here. That's the one I want to send. If I tap that, it brings up a copy of what it'll look like. Tap the printer icon, and then the printer starts to print. Just excuse this mess. And then it prints out on that paper there. So it's really easy, and even a complete knobhead like me can do it. But you don't just have to use it for that. You can use it for all sorts. So there it is, printed out. So you can do that with anything. I mean, for example, if you're one of these guys who tramp all week, you're out and about on the road, and then you can't do any invoicing or anything like that by post until you get home, because you've got no facilities to do it, so you do it all at weekend. If you're on the road, you can post your invoices out as you're driving about, can't you? Because you can print the invoice out, take a copy of the POD or the original or whatever you want to do, stick it in an envelope and post it while you're out and about on the road. Saves a bit of time, and you don't have to wait till weekend and then spend half your bloody weekend doing paperwork. So that is the benefits of having a printer in your van. It doesn't have to be one that I've got. It can be a normal printer. I just find them a bit bulky, because they do work, all these modern printers now. They just work, they connect to your phone wirelessly, don't you? And it's the same principle with this, except that the ink is in the paper, so you don't have to put any ink in it at all, because the paper has the ink in. And as far as I'm aware, they're only in black and white, but that's all I need anyway. But it is handy. It is very handy. I'm not using it so much at the moment because obviously I've been doing this day-to-day job, although I did use it to get that copy delivery note. But there you go. So I hope that was helpful, sir. You did request I did something on the printer. As I say, I'm not going to recommend any particular make. I've gone for this one because it was at the cheaper end of the scale, and that's all I needed. I can simply charge it up from my, connector here, and then it lasts about 3 hours when it's fully charged. You get 3 hours use out of it. I mean, I've not charged this up since the first time I've charged it, and it's still turning on and off fine, so there's no need to charge it at the moment. But that is essentially it, and all I do is just keep it in this little bag down here, and then that way it stays clean and safe. I hope that was useful for you. Little bit of public information from Anvil Logistics. Morning, it's Thursday morning. I hope you found the printer thing useful. Now I'm on a different run again today, and I have been told by the driver who normally does this run, there's no way I will be able to complete it. I think he's just a bit miffed that they put me on his run. So we shall see. I'm doing Runcorn, then Birkenhead, the Wirral, Chester, and I'm going to finish down Macclesfield area, simply because it's taking me towards home. So old Sour Grapes there in the depot says, "You're not getting that finished, no chance, I never do." So I might be just trying to justify his existence, but we'll see if I finish it or not. I'll keep you informed. Well, what's that expression they say in the in-betweeners? completed it, mate. So I won't be very popular tomorrow with that fella. I managed to get the run completely done, and it was an ask. I will definitely say that. I mean, the run had 18 drops and 1 collection. Started in Runcorn, and it went to Birkenhead, and then all through the Wirral, drops in the Wirral, to Chester and Flint, Northwich Crew, and one of the ones in Crewe, which just got Cheshire here, CW3. I went past the sign that said "Welcome to Shropshire," so it was pushing the boundaries a bit. Then back to Knutsford, and then Macclesfield, where I am now, just leaving, and dropped off the last drop at 10 to 5, which will get me home now from here, 25 miles to our house. And according to this, I will be home at about 10 to 6. So, not too late. Been home earlier than that, and I've had easier runs. But you take the rough with the smooth, and that geezer today, he was so up himself because I was on this run, and then saying, there's no way, don't care if you're the best driver in the world, that'll never ever be completed. Well, it was. It's a little bit different for me when I'm there, because obviously I am self-employed, and whereas they're employees of the company, I'm probably not quite as, I don't know what the word is, committed maybe. You know, they've worked there a few years, and they'll probably take a break when they're driving, and they tend to grumble and moan a bit when they're in. I'm out to try and give a good service to my customer, because even though this is a big transport company, they are my customer, and I want to give a good impression in order for them to keep giving me work. So they've given me this run today. I've completed it. They might now ask questions of him as to why he never completes the run. But in fairness, he's probably entitled to take a half an hour break somewhere and things like that. I tend to not do that, and will generally just dip in my bag at my sandwiches as I'm driving around. So it is a little bit different for me, but I do find employees work a little bit different than self-employed people. You've got to look after yourself as a self-employed person. No one else is going to do it for you, are they? And obviously, Anvil Logistics want to set a good impression to get future work from everybody that we work for. So I like to think that we'll offer a professional service, and that's what I've done today. Everything has been delivered, and the collection has been done as well. So nothing missed, nothing items left on the van, everything's been sent to the correct places. So it's been a busy day, but I'm quite chuffed with myself, really. So I'll be going in tomorrow, head held high. So tomorrow just got one more day, multi-drop in, and then back on it for a full week next week. As I say, I'm still looking on the feed and looking at, and it seems quite busy. It's been popping a bit today. I've got it on the other phone going, you might hear it popping every now and again, just to kind of keep an eye on what's going on. So I think the work is out there, but whether it's going for a decent price or not is another matter. Because I'm not really bidding, am I? I did that job on Thursday, which took me through to Good Friday to Newquay, that adventure, and that was well paid, but it's well paid for a reason, because of the time and because of where it was going and everything else. Your day-to-day stuff, I'm not too sure. I'm still seeing things pop up on the forums that, you know, they're not getting the work, or they're not getting it at a decent price. So I think it's still probably a bit tough out there, so I am considering myself lucky that I'm doing this, and I'll stick with it for the time being. So I'm going to round the video off for this week, because it's only another day of multi-drop tomorrow. But what I will say is, because I'm going away soon, in about 3 weeks actually, and I'm going to be taking a full week and a bit off, I may, if anything decent pops up, consider doing something on Saturday. It'd have to be something worth doing, because, and it'd also have to be for the right price, because the likelihood of a return journey on a Saturday is, it's not very high, is it? Because I've tried it in the small van. But I will consider it. So if anything pops up for the Saturday, Sunday, if maybe, because I'm gonna have some time off, so I don't mind putting some extra in now. I would consider doing it. If it was ADR work, even better. But just simply to, you know, pop the invoices away. Although realistically, what I get paid for this run, I am very lucky. It was made clear it wouldn't be on a permanent basis, but it's just that, you know, with them not yet being able to fully staff everything, they're still finding me work on this regular run. Although there will be same day work, but they do post same day jobs out for ADR anyway. So I would like to think I would be with a shout of doing those for them. I know they're happy with me. Man, it wouldn't be. No, but I do want to. I do my best for them, as I do with anybody I work for. Simply because I want to get them a repeat business. So we're going to wind it up. Once again, thank you for everyone who has subscribed to my channel. It is grown. I've had some more subscribers and it's shot up a bit more. 900 and something, which is pretty amazing. As I've said before, watching a fat bald bloke rabbit on about driving his van isn't always the most riveting of subjects, and not everybody obviously agrees with what I say, because as I always say, I only say it from my perspective, so not everybody will agree. If there's any subjects you think you would like me to cover, put it in the comments and I'll endeavour to try and cover it to the best of my knowledge. There are people out there with far greater knowledge than me, and I will always cover it to the best of what I know. But if you do have questions, just like somebody asked me to post about the printer, then, you know, put it on, put your comments on. Let us know how you've done this week. Put it in your comments as well. Let's see how everybody's getting on. If you like this channel, please consider subscribing to it. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I'd be most grateful, and it does help the videos get out there. And I will see you all again very soon, and thank you for watching.